Can't believe I finally pressed the button. Ooh, don't be bashful, don't be bashful. I'm so bashful right now. I don't like being in front of cameras. I don't. I used to have a problem with cameras, much like mirrors. But anyway, I figure I'm finna have me some lunch or dinner, whatever you want to say it is. It's food. I'm finna have some, and I was gonna unbox my machine because I am making a baby blanket, a rag quilt. So this will be my first one, but this is the machine that I'm gonna unbox. However, I wanted to talk about the concept of unboxing, because I am kind of unboxing metaphorically and physically. I am gonna explain what I'm talking about. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I pressed the button. I would rather not be on screen, but I don't know. This takes some getting used to. However, I'm finna have me some food real quick because it's something I wanted to talk about as far as like the unboxing. And you know, I don't like that word, box. Box. It sounds funny, amusing to me. But a box is seen to me in a negative light. I don't like boxes. I spend my whole damn life inside of a box. But one thing I always rejected was physicality. Until now. My whole life I always rejected physicality. I always was the weird one, the misunderstood one, the one that just never get along with anybody. At one point, people called me a cancer, you know, because I was like, I don't know, I guess you can say I was like really negative about everything. People, situations. I grew up a lot. And I'm very proud of myself. But right now, fast forward, I am going through a process of integration. In my becoming. This process of integration has to do with integrate polarities. I do have the understanding that it took a while for me to understand this, but there's a deeper understanding when it comes to, you know how people say, we are all one. We all come from the same source, from the whole. And you're not separate from anything outside of you. However, we all have the same thing, the same source inside of us. But one thing about me and what stunted and always held me back was my unwillingness to be part of physicality. Yeah, I'm here in a human body. I'm here physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. I'm not, or I wasn't for a long time. And it was a component that I was missing. And yeah, I came a long way. I've came a very, very, very long way. This is nothing new to me, and the things that I will talk about is nothing new. My soul is very old, and I'm very tired. And this is my last go round. This is where everything that I've accumulated through every being that I have been, as long as I've been incarnating on this earth, every lesson that I learned from those beings that I was up until now, it all has to be integrated into this one form that is now. That is me. And the very thing that I am, I always renounced it. That's the human part of me. So, going back to the unboxing, well, with the unboxing comes the integration of both sides of me. I've always, since I can remember, I've always operated from the perspective of the masculine. Yeah, I learned how to be feminine, but never really embodying the feminine, while the whole time not so much acknowledging my feminine part. That seems to be the part that I always ran from, because that was the weakest part of me. And I spent my life operating from the masculine side. It got a lot to do with from, childhood and everything like that, but because I've been through a lot from childhood into adulthood. And my history with the masculine is not great either. However, I always operated from the masculine side because in a sense that is where I felt safe, even though I didn't get my safety from any masculine that I was with, because I always had the mindset that I take care of myself mindset. But in being with other men, or men in general, has been, I looked at it as men has like been a very negative force in my life. And from childhood, from babyhood, from my very existence, men has not been a very positive force in my life. So, in essence, I started thinking like them in the aspect of protecting myself. And because I felt like nobody else would protect me, I didn't feel any protection from anybody as a kid, as a child. I supposed to be eating, huh? Yeah, let me take a bite. Yeah. I never felt that sense of protection from anybody. I was always the little weird kid. I used to do things like talk to people who wasn't there, that everybody else couldn't see. Things around me, like animals and things like that. Hell, my mom and them, they thought I was retarded or something because I used to play with dragonflies. I'll chase them around, talk to them, dance with them, things like that. So I grew up with a lot of labels, too. And in all of this, I rejected my feminine. This was a hard reality for me when I realized what was going on. I never liked the fact that women have to go through menses and things like that. During those times, I always felt disgusting. I felt like just all of the things that are not positive. I felt those things. And I had been carrying a lot of emotional pain for a long time because I've only operated from one side of the spectrum. And I didn't know that I was this word called androgynous, where seemingly I can switch from one side to the other, but spiritually and emotionally, I was not embodying my feminine. And you know, I've been told that maybe I should get a girlfriend because I don't respect men. That wasn't entirely true. The thing is, I was never given a reason to respect a man. And just like they saw me as nothing but a pretty face, I saw them as nothing but muscle. And I don't think I can eat right now. Because I'm trying to get this out. I'm trying to get this out because as I said in the comments or in my post on my page, I'm going through a process of integration right now. With that comes a new pair of lenses and new perspective on things. But I learned something when it comes to the fact that, yes, I've been suppressing, basically doing the very thing to my feminine that has always been done to me. Oppression, suppression, not given the opportunity to be. And I'm trying not to be emotional too, because fuck it, it's coming. It's coming. The very thing that I always wanted to be free. I've always wanted freedom. Hence, from ever since I can remember, freedom didn't equal physicality for me. I didn't want to be here. I felt like a long time that I don't belong here. And some hard things I had to look at were was that in me doing all the very things to my feminine that has been done to me since I was a child, I have not been able to integrate, therefore stunting my evolution. And it all goes full circle. In order for me to evolve, I'm androgynous, but I operate from one side of the spectrum. And in order for me to evolve, I have to integrate and therefore become duality instead of polarity. And this is something I learned along with the other lessons and many lessons that I've learned since I've been up here in California. I did a lot of work with my inner baby. I met the inner baby when I got up here. When I was homeless, I went through all the things. And I was left alone. But in that time, I found the missing thing, the missing part that controlled like 90% of my life. So you can imagine how much I didn't know. And I went through life in that baby mindset for years, a long time. But I met the inner baby for the first time and learned how to become its mother or its parent, you can say. I learned how to parent it, but I had to learn. It's kind of like we grew up together. And fast forwarding until now, give or take within the last month or so, my masculine started tapping me on the shoulder. And I did some readings on myself. And I get messages from my body consciousness, and it says that a masculine has a message for you. And another message in the reading was a pioneering spirit, whereas you have something to offer, you have something to build, you have something to bring forth that will help those who come after. It was like several things, and it was something that I could not put my hand on. I couldn't for the life of me pinpoint what is this that I cannot name in my emotional body that is there that I cannot name. And it's stress integration. Integration was a big one. Well, what am I integrating? Because from my other perspective, I thought that the understanding I had was, I operate from the body consciousness and from a place of love and truth. But when you're not including all of your parts, then you stop in a sense. Your evolution kind of stops, and it's like a block in the road, and you can't go past this block until you see something that you've been running from. Something that you've been running from, that you have not acknowledged, that you have not healed, that you don't even know that's there. And these messages kept coming up. I'm like, what is it though? And so the past few weeks I've been doing a lot of introspection. And I've been angry. I've been going through things and not understanding things like I would normally understand them. It's like all of that was shut off, and I'm like in a box. I'm in a box in the dark is what I can describe it as. And it's like my soul put me in this box. So you can't get out of this box until you see what's there. Until you go into what is there that you don't want to see. So I say give or take a few nights ago, and I keep a journal. And I'm like, I don't get it. What is it? Then I started just expressing my distaste for humanity, my unwillingness to partake in anything. I realized nothing in this world satisfies me. Nothing makes me happy. At the same time, I don't feel miserable. But nothing makes me happy. Not even the things that I like to do. And I'm very creative, very artistic. And I don't connect to those things a lot. Little bit moments here and there. I get the urges and I go with those urges. But that's been the masculine tapping me on the shoulder, trying to show me the creativity is the feminine. It wants to be expressed. The very thing that I've always wanted to do, it was not ever able to do, was express myself. What I was doing to her. So I started in my journal, I just started expressing my disgust with everything that comes with being a woman. I could never get behind submission. I could never get behind subservience. I could never get behind being too soft. I learned at some point how to be soft enough, but it was conditional. And so I'm steady writing. I'm writing, and the very thing, the most important part of being a woman is that time of the month. And I learned that during this is time where you're supposed to honor your ability to be creative, to be the mother. The very blood that I shed every month was never honored. I never gave back to that part. Then there was a segment, you can say, a period of, and it like during this time, within this month, this whole month, it's like a cycle. It's all cycling and showing me that that's one component, but there's also another component. And so besides the not honoring her, it was a self-worth part. For me, and I think I wrote about this on one of my blogs, self-worth never occurred to me. It never ever occurred to me because I was never taught anything about self-worth. The things I was taught or tried to be taught was submission. Submission to the hand that feeds you. Submission to a man. I could never get behind that. Or submission to religion. Submission to control. I never could get behind that. So when it came to self-worth, I was never taught that I was worth anything. I was never taught that you're supposed to honor every part of you. I wasn't taught that I mattered. I was always taught that work hard. Work hard for any and everything that you own. Or if you don't work hard, you'll never amount to nothing. You'll never be nothing. You'll never be nobody. I was taught that you gotta suffer. You have to suffer to do anything. I was never taught about self-worth. Therefore, it never occurred to me. So in this segment, I'm asking myself, what am I worth? What are the measurements What are the measurements of my self-worth? I didn't have an answer. This part of the segment started a couple of months ago. And then it slowly started rolling on until this month. And then I was getting into the part of the realization that it was the feminine part that I was suppressing and keeping away. But I'm going back to the self-worth part. I question a lot about self-worth because that is what's coming up, and my soul is teaching me and bringing things to me through my body consciousness. And that was one of the things. What is the measurements of my self-worth? Yeah, I always was the one that say, shit, you're not finna fuck over me. You're not finna do this and you're not finna do that to me. I'm not going for that. In a way, the sovereignty part of me was missing that part. Yes, I'm sovereign. I don't take shit. I don't chase. I don't follow. At the same time, I'm missing the most important parts of me. So I started digging more. What are the measurements of my self-worth? I started breaking down the definition of that word. And I come to realize I've never been treated like I was worth anything. It's like growing up, you know what I'm saying? All you doing is working to pay a bill, working to take care of somebody else. Me, that's what I was doing. Not caring so much about myself in much of any capacity. I learned how to mask, how to put on the mask. So on the outside, I'm wearing the mask and nobody can see what's really going on the inside. I wore a mask to survive. I wore a mask to stay hidden. So my soul talked to me. And said that your worth has no measurement. Your worth is priceless. In all capacity. The things that I picked up in my life is more intellectual. It's more spiritual in nature. So for a long time, I didn't know how to operate the outside. I've always grew up with the mentality that you gotta work for somebody else to pay your bills. You gotta accumulate shit from the other in order for you to survive. This is what I was taught. This is the way I grew up. But all of the things that are inside of me, I kept inside. Kept it hidden. When those very things should have been expressed. They were not expressed because I rejected the feminine, the creator part of me. Saying, oh, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. You got bills to pay, you got children to take care of. You got mouths to feed. You got men to fucking please. And so, coming back to the realization that I found her. I found her because at some point, if you on this path or you on a path, it's gonna come up to where integration of the whole is required. Go from polarity to duality. Duality allows both to exist at the same time. Polarity keeps them like this. Well, the masculine said no more. I'm ready for my wife, it said. And I saw her for the first time. Just like I did the baby. I saw her for the first time. And something shifted. I saw her, the mother for the first time. And I realized everything that I was doing to her. Every time I stayed silent when I was supposed to speak. Every time I needed and wanted to create something, ego comes in and say, no, you got to do this over here. You got to do this. And throughout this journey, I learned how to take the ego and set its ass down. The thing is, it don't sit down for too long. It'll come back up and try to, interfere. Because the ego fears integration. It doesn't want change. It doesn't want to be stripped of its position. But see, the thing about the ego, it has a function. And its function is neutrality. When it decides, or if it, how do I say? At some point, your ego goes from that neutrality when it starts creating stories for itself. And through those stories, it feeds you fear, doubt. It feeds you things to keep you away from integration. When its only function is neutrality. It's your anchor in this reality. That is its only function. It is supposed to be neutral while anchoring you here in your body. It does not have authority. And we unknowingly give it authority when we tell ourselves stuff. These stories that you tell yourself, these negative thoughts that come up, these things. The ego creates the story. But in all reality, it has no authority at all. That's a part of an illusion. But you don't see that, you don't know that, because the things that you tell yourself a lot, 9 times out of 10 comes from the ego mind. That's not true. It's not the truth. So I had to tap into, whoa, ego, time to sit your bitch ass down. So when my soul put me in this box, I've been in this box, this dark ass box, where I was forced to see creations that I didn't want to see. They were there, and it's like they, with their hands out, hey, You know what I'm saying? Just like the feminine part of me. She was there. Many times try to get my attention. Many times. But it took the masculine to say, hey, you missing something. I'm missing something that I'm ready for and I know you ready for. So I saw her for the first time. And I said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And just like I made a promise to that baby, that inner baby, that I will never hurt her or let anybody else hurt her ever again. I made a promise to my mother, the mother part of me, that I won't abandon her. Again. And I see her. And I know her. Because the whole time I'm operating from one spectrum, the masculine, I'm saying the same thing. She says, I want to be free. Freedom comes through integration. Freedom comes from integration. And with the realization that you are not separate from anything. Anything. Nothing and nobody. We are not separate. We are just in bodies, in a mass, like in a sea of the one, the whole. We are one body, each of us a sea. In this sea of one whole, there's nothing outside of that whole. But inside of that whole is you, is me, and every part of you. And you can't escape from it. You have no choice. Either you're going to integrate or you will become equivalent to an NPC. No value. No give, no fucks. You're just part of a simulation. So I'm in this integration process. How does it feel? Well, I feel closer and closer to the one self. I feel closer to the whole, to creation. I feel closer to freedom. Yeah, I see everything that's going on in the Americas. How much of a shithole it's become. But it's all about your perception, perspective. Oh, it's very real. The things that they're doing, the things that have come to pass. It's real because it's part of reality. It's part of physicality. But it's all in your perception of reality. What part do you want to express is the question. So, I am duality. I express as everything. The question is now for me is, what do I want to create now? Because I looked at all my creations, my babies, situations that I've been in, encounters, people I've dealt with. And I don't have any ill will towards anybody. Anybody. And because I see it as they are my teachers. They were my teachers. And so if you're in the classroom and you fail to get a lesson that your teacher is teaching you, whose fault is that? Good question, ain't it? Like, think about it. If your teacher is teaching you something, or trying to teach you something, and you are not willing to pay the fuck attention, whose fault is that? So with that too, you know what I'm saying, what you perceive is what you perceive on the outside is just a reflection of what's on the inside of you. So when it comes to all the fucked up shit that people do and that you witness, no, it's not you doing it, but it's still part of you. Nothing is right or wrong. Everything is an experience. That's part of the experiment of the whole. And when I realized this, don't get me wrong, I got pissed. I was mad. I was mad as shit. Because this is an experiment of the one that is all. Wanting to see what it feel like to be separate. To be in separation. But as an illusion. It is only an illusion. And the whole is looking through our eyes. Your eyes, mine, and everybody else's. So, in reality, we can't be mad at each other. We can't say that, you know what I'm saying? We can't be mad at each other because everything is an experience alone in this one experiment that is the whole. And we have no choice but to be here. But you're given a choice to either evolve or not. This thing called free will choice. Each soul has that. You either choose to evolve or not. So, the point of it, of where I'm at now, is like, be mad for what? Why? No, I am not happy with what shit is going on right now. I'm broke. You know what I'm saying? I got so many other issues, you know what I'm saying, that I'm working on. But be mad for what? I don't hate nobody. You know what I'm saying? For a long time, I couldn't stand humans. I didn't consider myself to be one. Like I said, I rejected physicality. Your birth chart and things like that may say things like where your soul originated from. You can find things like that out, where your soul originated from and things like that. But when it all boils down to it, everybody comes from one source. You can go back and see your footprints, who you were in past lives and things like that. But when it all boils down to it, we all are just part of one source, one fractal of the whole. So, how do I feel? That with this process, I feel less anger, less anxiety about the future. Because, like, I don't know what I'm going to do. But, things have their ways of working out. Especially when it comes to me and these kids. It's like, I can count many times I was on the brink of destruction. Self-destruction, fucking people up, breaking the law. I had all kinds of stuff like going through me at several points in my existence while I've been here with these kids. But every time I get to the point where I'm about to act, something releases. Something happens to where I don't have to. And it's been proven to me so many times. Why are you worried? Why do you put yourself through this when you don't have to? That's just the human part. The human part of me sees, okay, I got these kids. There are certain things that I cannot do, that I'm limited to. But even in that truth, I am always supported and provided for exactly when I need it. So the anger is releasing. The anger, the anxiety, my nervous system is calming. I'm able, and I have decided to wear the boots I'm strapping up right now that I was born to wear. And suddenly, the box opened. I'm not in the box no more. This is new. Like everything else, it takes training and getting used to. But I am willing. And that's the key. I am willing. I am willing to see what I couldn't see before. So now things come easily. They come easier. Memories are surfacing. Memories of my soul is surfacing. Because I'm ready for it. So this vessel can operate the way it was born and designed to operate. I am allowing the process. So, Unboxing. I was getting ready to unbox a new machine. And I felt that I needed to share that because I needed to share this because the unboxing is metaphorical, metaphysical, and physical on all levels. So not only am I unboxing the new of that perspective, I'm also unboxing something in the physical. So my daughter turned me on to something called rag quilts, right? And they look so easy to make. It's like I know how to do so many things. Like I draw, I write, I can sing, but the kind of singing that I do is not on a human level, if that makes any sense. It's more of a resonance thing, you know, harmonizing, in other words. I make jewelry, as you've seen on some of my pages. I'm into wood burning, the wood crafts. Crocheting. I learned crocheting. It's like, I don't know what it is, but it's like I have to learn the advanced parts first. It's like I cannot learn the basics to save my life when it comes to crochet. Like the regular one. No. I had to learn the advanced one, which is Tunisian crochet is a different one, but I love it all the same. Anyway, let's look at this wonderful machine here. Let's unbox, shall we? I'm gonna unbox it. And so I've been looking at like things that I can do and be more resourceful, you know. When I looked in my birth chart, and it is true, I like things, tangible things, practical things. And in my past lives, and I was a strategist, an analyst, you know, I'm very smart, very intelligent, and oh wow, isn't that beautiful? Look at that. It's so little, it's so compact, but guess what? It comes with everything that you need as a beginner. That's the most important thing. I'm gonna set it right here on this little table. It comes with everything that you need starting out. And it has a foot pedal thingy. Best thing ever, right? It has a foot pedal thingy. Yeah, alright. See, I gotta look at the instructions and stuff and how to put this stuff together. But I do want to show you the design of my first rag quilt, and it's gonna be a baby blanket. So I made the sandwiches. It's like you have to do. Hold on, let me show you. Okay, so this is the design of what the blanket is going to look like. This is the front, and this is the back, and it's gonna be so great. I can't wait to finish it. I did post some earrings some new earrings that I made last night. I'm making a wrap to go with that too. So it's like, I don't know. I'm kind of seeing where I can go with this. Making the tangible items that people lean towards, that people maybe need more so than want, are the things that I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, who doesn't need a blanket? Right? Candles, you know, the things that people would need more so than want. I want to make those things. And like, I have locks. I can't use everything with my locks. Okay? These are very, very, very long. Very, very, very long locks. And they tend to get frizzy and all of the things. So I want to make my own products. You know, I have a lot of ideas. I want to make medicine. Pretty soon it's going to get to the point where you ain't nobody going to be able to afford none. So go back to old grandma remedies, okay? Before they had big pharma, they had herbs, okay? They had herbs and things from the earth that you use to heal your ass with, right? That is what I'm transitioning to. I want to get in a position to where, and this is what my soul wants me to do. This is in alignment with my oversoul. What we are working towards is you know, service from a spiritual sovereignty standpoint. Okay? And in doing this, it open up, how do I say, it cultivates, or it facilitates community, creates community, you know, unity. When you go back to a community mindset, to where you want to help others, where there's no monetary value, that is pretty much where I'm going. Though right now it seems that yes, I will need some money. However, when it comes to sharing in a community, you do something called trading, right? That's what it's coming back to anyway. You know what I'm saying? I want to position myself to where I'm able to contribute to the whole, you know, in such a way that, hey, I have this. Can we trade this for this? Take away the money, what's left? Love. All that is left is love and truth. That's it. That's where that is what I align with. So, sure, the government is going to try to push me to go work for Joe Schmo, or Joe Schmuck, whatever schmuck you want to say. But, no. I cannot do what is not in alignment with my soul. It's not going to happen. So, that being said, there are some beautiful things that's on the horizon, and I'm all for it. I'm all for the journey. And I'm not a person that's known for, like, I don't know, being a people person. No, I'm not known for that. However, with a new pair of lens comes new understanding. So, and I think I'm off to a good start. And I've been by myself like for the last now 8 years. But there's a reason for that. It was a reason for that. I'm thankful. I'm grateful. I'm very, very grateful. I mean, I was never miserable. You know, what breakup isn't? You know, after a breakup, you're going to be a little hurt for a while. But, you know, ever since my last breakup, I woke up. So, I learned how to be by myself. And something I thought I could never do. Like, I used to be one that was afraid of dying alone. Like, for real. But, the codependent bone, I got rid of it. I don't know. On this new journey, who knows where it brings, like, where I end up. The point is, I'm willing to travel it. So, so I've unboxed. Very proud. Very proud of myself. I'm very grateful. Very thankful for my oversoul that is connected to the all, the one, the whole. Can y'all feel my emotions? Can you feel the gratitude? So much gratitude. Love that I can honestly say I've never felt before. Because it's authentic. It's true. I can definitely get behind that. Definitely. And I don't get on Facebook. I don't get on, like, social media often. This took a lot. This took a lot for me to do. Like, but I don't know. Maybe it'll create some kind of domino effect. But I know one thing. Thank you. Thank you for the love. I love you. Thank you. I know one thing is, you know, it feels good. It feels good to stop, and the box did not feel very good. I'm just being honest. It did not feel very good in the box, but it just feels good now. I'm in a place and to where I know that everything is going to be all right. No matter what's going on, the fear mongering that's going on, you know, because every time you turn on Facebook, all you hear about is the orange baboon and him, you know, in his tiny wig going off on everybody and trying to take every goddamn thing from people. That's all you hear. And now lately, all you hear is him sucking somebody, you know what. Like, you know what? I'm just over the government, period, to be honest. And like I said, when they take all that away, the monetary shit, all that is left is love, people, community. And that's where my heart is at. That's where my mind is at. Expansion. You know, growth. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. But I don't know how long I've been on this live, but I appreciate those who shared this resonance, this time of resonance with me, and took time out of your day to listen to me. Thank you. This does not happen. This is something that I don't do. I don't, like I said, I was never expressing myself, but I'm out the box. And it feels great. So, I guess I'm going to just go ahead and see what I can create now. I'm not going to finish that hot dog, y'all. That thing is cold. And, you know, I don't do cold hot dogs. Maybe I'll just heat up something else. I don't know. I really don't have too much of an appetite anymore, to be honest. So, another thing, like, I don't know, if anybody is interested in sharing community, you know, things like that, I'd be happy to participate. Or, like, I'm going to be doing things on my my Telegram, sharing information, you know, resonance sessions. I'm a reader. I do readings. These are not regular readings, okay? These readings are on a soul level. These readings are, they are predicated on the permission that your soul gives to me. And because the information that a person receives from me could either help you or harm you if you're not ready for it. So that being said, you know, I do readings and I can only divulge what your soul allows me to. I'm going to do more creative videos. I like to create things. I like to make stuff. Music, the music part, maybe I'll share some music. Yeah, I'm a little bashful, but it's really nice. The music that I do, like I harmonize with any sound. And it's pretty. So I don't know, maybe I'll share some of it. But I know I have followers that I don't know. I'm very, I guess you can say I'm kind of private. So it's like I don't talk about myself a lot. So I know like people like to ask questions and things like that, and that's fine. But I can't tell you everything, you know. But I'm open to communication. So just throwing that out there. Well, everybody be well. I guess I'm gonna go and get off this live now. I flame still. Me Aisha.